Hey, everybody. Good morning. I'm Tom Vessel.
I'm Z Garcia. Hello.
And I'm Stephen Bonacore, the podfather of gaming. Hey.
Welcome back to Board Game Breakfast. And we're glad you're with us today. Not the least because you can do something now that Mr. Bonacore has done, and that's have dinner in Paris. Or I don't know. Have you had dinner in Paris?
Yes, I have had dinner in Paris.
Me and Z are not as good and cool as you. We had lunch in Paris.
We had... Yeah, we did. I was going to say we had lunch at the Paris airport, but no, yeah, we did go to Paris after that. Like proper, Paris proper, yeah.
Yeah, remember we had that little cafe? Anyhow, the reason I bring this up.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why we're bringing up...
contest. We have a contest here. So there's a new game from a publisher, Funnyfox, called Dinner in Paris. And what it is you're building these little restaurants and then building out your the little terrace. And it's like an area control style game where your terrace is going out and trying to get in the way of other people so that people come to your places.
Okay.
So we have 3 copies of this. This is for U.S. only, and you have a week to enter this contest. All you have to do is email us, and in the subject line put the word Paris, and then as the question, just put, what do pigeon cards do in this game?
All right.
So there are pigeon cards in the game. What do they do? It has 3D buildings that you put together. It's pretty cool. My review of it will be going up in a couple weeks, actually, I think. I've already reviewed it on the podcast. A nice, light, family-style game, although it can be vicious since, I could open a restaurant directly next to Mr. Bonacore's and then build my terrace so that he only has a few spots to have people eat. I wouldn't do that.
No, of course
I would not.
No.
Okay, that's it for our contest. So, again, email that to contest@dicetower.com, and you'll be entered in there. And congratulations to the future winners. You can find out if you won any of our contests at dicetower.com/contests.
All
right. Well, I'm back. I am back. I missed the last week, but I heard that Mike was so good.
Mike killed it. Mike absolutely did a fantastic job. It was a nail biter between he and Bonacore, but I did bend the rules so that Mike would win. I mean, follow the letter of the law.
This is just wrong. It's just wrong. Everybody on that side of the wall.
Well, you know what Delicio doesn't do? Brag about Paris.
I got engaged.
I did softball that one to him. I kind of set him up there, so I understand that.
You baited him.
I got engaged in Paris for the second marriage. That didn't go very well either.
All right, so, and he just congratulated me on Melody's thing. All right, thanks. All right.
Oh, unrelated. Come on,
that's so wrong.
Okay, folks. We got some contributors, and we'll be back with the news.
All right.
Through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Mental Health Minute. My name's Nick and I wanted to talk about board presence and intimidation. Have you ever brought someone new to the table that you knew could handle the difficulty and the detail of the game that you really wanted to play, but it's a big box like these and there's a lot of components, ton of stuff on the table. They're not feeling it. They're intimidated by all that's in front of them, like, oh my gosh, look at all the decisions I'm probably gonna have to make. You and I know that there's not as many decisions, it just looks like a lot. How do you dilute that intimidation factor? I just kind of put it on the table and have them set it up with me. I don't have it all pre-set up. I have it set it up with me and then I explain as they put things down. And they'll say, oh, well, that's all that does? Okay, I don't have to worry about that or this, that, or the other thing. And some people like to tell them exactly everything about the game before you even set it up to see if they'd be interested. I don't tend to gravitate towards that idea because I think it can intimidate someone out of even wanting to try. Especially somebody who's not too into board games. It can be a challenge. It's very easy to see a lot of one thing that you don't know about and be intimidated and not wanting to do it. It's not analysis paralysis, it's intimidating. And that's a very difficult thing to deal with and can really turn someone off the hobby entirely. So their first experience with a real gamer's game can be extremely important into what direction they take in the hobby, if at all. So let me know in your comments below about what you do to try to lead people into a game that may be a little intimidating. Check out my YouTube channel. I talk about anxiety in gaming as my most recent video and a lot of other things. So come say hello, and my name's Nick. Do enjoy your breakfast.
What is up? My name is Melissa McCack, and this is Smashing Buttons and Slamming Cards. This is a segment where I talk about a video game I love and I connect it to a board game I love. And this week, I want to talk about Minecraft. So Minecraft is a super popular video game. I think usually younger kids play it. I don't know. But I'll be honest, I actually don't really enjoy Minecraft, but I can understand why a lot of people like it. You get to create things in the game. It's a very sandbox feel to it. You could do all sorts of different game modes, and it's a lot of fun for people. Now in Minecraft, I sort of feel this sense of like, there's sort of a Tetris feel here, right? Where you're placing like these blocks and everything is going right in the right way, I guess, right? When you're trying to create like different buildings and whatnot. Now I could have compared or connected this to the Minecraft, the board game. I think it's called Builders and Biomes, and that would have been really easy, but I haven't played that game, so I'm not going to use that game. I am going to connect it to cartographers. So this is a little bit out of the box, right? Because, so cartographers, it does have that Tetris feel. This is a flip and fill game where you're flipping cards and you're filling in your map. So I think that in Minecraft, you're creating your own sort of map, really. And that's what you're doing in cartographers. And there's monsters that could come out, just like in Minecraft, there's monsters that could like ruin your plans and everything. Same thing in cartographers. And like I said, it's got that Tetris feel, just like in Minecraft, where everything, you're trying to fit it just the right way and everything. There's trees and plains and water and stuff in cartographers, a lot like in Minecraft. So anyway, that is it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like, you could check out mine and my brother's channel called Room 51. I'll catch you next time.
Happy breakfast, everyone. It's been a little while since I uploaded a video for Board Game Breakfast, and that has been because I got COVID. Now I'm better, and I want to talk about Pandemic because of it, because let's be honest, you have to look at the light side of things. Pandemic is a brilliant game, a cooperative game where you're trying to save the world from viruses. You're going to be using actions each turn to move around the board, travelling between cities, mopping up the viruses, and hopefully with collecting cards to find the cures. And why am I wanting to talk about it today? Well, I finished the 3 Legacy series now. Pandemic Legacy Season 1, 2 and 0. Is it worth playing the base game of Pandemic anymore? Now I've got to that stage. I've played through, 30, 40 games of Legacy Pandemic. Now there's 2 aspects that it really does fall down on. You don't have the excitement anymore of unlocking boxes, ripping up cards and stuff like that. And this leads on to the second part. It doesn't feel like it's my game of Pandemic, my version of Pandemic. In those legacy games, you are writing on things on the board, you're putting stickers on the board, and therefore your choices have affected your game, your board, your experience. Going back to the base Pandemic, you kind of feel like it's the same as everyone else's. Yes, that's a good thing. Everyone gets a great experience with Pandemic. Don't be put off if you've not played it. But I do think it's a bit of a struggle to go back to Pandemic once you've experienced Legacy. Anyway, that's Pandemic after and during a pandemic, and I'm Oliver East signing out.
All right, folks. Well, first of all, we would be remiss when talking about the news if we didn't mention that we're running a Kickstarter right now. The Dice Tower Kickstarter, which has funded so far. We've even reached our first stretch goal. So we will be bringing in top 10 guests for our top 10 lists virtually. Ooh. And hopefully maybe later on in the year, actually physically. That would be exciting.
Yes.
So that's going to happen. Our next stretch goal is, what is the next stretch goal? Oh, Ruby and Violet. My daughters will do their top 50 games of all time. We also added in a stretch goal at the end where Jason and Liz will do their top 50 games. Mike DeLisio will do his top solo games of all time. And we're also going to add stitching into the small playmat. So lots of stuff going on there.
Awesome.
Thank you to everyone who backed it. That is exciting.
That is great.
If you want to find it, it's DicetowerKickstarter.com. Okay, so first we have a new game announced called The Initiative. This is from a company called Unexpected Games. This company just launched, although it was announced, I want to say a year ago. Mm-hmm. It's Corey Knizia, who was the main designer at Fantasy Flight Games, and has left there now to freelance and start his own company. Okay, you're bursting at the seams. Go ahead.
This game like couldn't be made more for me. I mean, this is absolute insta-buy. It's a campaign game with intrigue, 30 to 60 minutes per chapter. Corey Knizia in his new company, in his first, maybe, I don't know if his first game under the company, but this is exciting to me. I mean, I literally, if I could pre-order this game, I'd do it right now. I'm very excited to see him in his new role, his new company, doing this great thematic kind of game. So, yes, I'm bursting.
That's what you were talking about earlier. Well, then that I really agree with you.
Oh,
I think the cover is great.
Yeah.
Corey Knizia is a great designer. At first, when I saw that there was teenagers finding a game called The Key, it made me think, are they trying to go off this lock and key success? Because that's teenagers finding keys. But the artwork doesn't look anything like that.
No, right. It doesn't. It doesn't even. No, it doesn't. I have a feeling that they're not related. They just happen to pick up that theme a while ago, and then there was the TV series. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to see this. What, do they have a release date on it? Spring, coming out soon.
One thing that's got me interested, or I'm wondering, I guess, I'm a little cautious, is the 30 to 60 minutes to complete a chapter. Most of Corey Knizia's games tend to be very long. I'm out now. I wonder if the influence of that was always Fantasy Flight Games, or if that's driven by him, the designer. So I'm curious to see if this just says it's 30 to 60 minutes, or if it actually is, You
mean Twilight Imperium doesn't play in 2 hours? Oh, okay. I thought it did.
Every time I've played it, it's not ended up being 2 hours.
Well, either way, I'm pumped about this. So this is interesting, this company, because usually I'm a little wary of a designer going off and starting their own company. It's a tough gig. They're two different skill sets. But Asmodee is on board here. So this is like another brand from Asmodee. We see Steve Horvath talking about this here. So, and that this cover gives me great hope, because that's just a great cover.
And that's obviously from Fantasy Flight, very amicable and just want to start. So they've picked him up as one of their brands. They call them imprints, and that's great. It's good exciting times for good people.
Yeah.
All right. Seems like every week I talk about something new from Catan. And it's like sneakers and whatever. Now we got Catan Sprite plushies. So these are, and I can't say anything against this one because we got a plushie in our Kickstarter campaign. The only thing I would say about this is I don't know that my kids would be excited about the non-animal ones. Like that one at the bottom, which is like a square. I don't know what that is. It's a brick, obviously.
Oh, brick and stone and wood. Brick? And what are the other ones?
Yeah,
it's been a while, but brick, stone,
resources, and then the sheep is the robber at the top.
You're right. The bandit, bandit. What do they call it?
Robber, I think.
The robber sheep.
That's cute. I love this. It's you gotta use your IP and bring it out in various ways, and it's a great idea for them. The sneaker thing was a little more odd, but still, this is both.
Well, this is better than sneakers. So yeah,
I agree, but I think the sneakers are going to sell too. Not like millions, but they're going to sell.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna, once we have conventions again, you're gonna see these at every convention.
Yeah. You will.
This is a convention buy for sure.
Yeah, it's an impulse purchase. They're going to have them out there. Can
you trade them?
You trade them? They're tradable?
These two sheep animals for 1 week. Please.
Got it. Yeah, me, Monaco and I were both like, you trade? They're like collectible and tradable? Now we got it.
Tom making a funny.
Tom, you're so hilarious.
Casual Game Insider is a magazine that is about, well, it's about mostly casual games. I would argue that over the years, they're starting to trend a little bit more heavy games. I think that's just how it works. Chris James, the publisher, originally owned his own board game company, started this, and this became his thing. So they've nominated their top casual games of 2020, My City, Calico, and Back to the Future, Back in Time, and you can go vote on them. So I'm actually not sure where you vote on them, but if you search on this online, you have to the 24th to vote on them. Which one would you vote for of the three?
Well, I never played them, so I would not be able to pick one, but Back to the Future calls to me. Because
yeah, that's a really good one. That would be the one I'd pick. But I think all three are legit.
Huh. I never heard of this next game.
All right, this next one here is
man, who put this in here? Who put this in here?
Expedition. This is coming to Kickstarter in February. It is essentially the Terraforming Mars card game, as opposed to the current game, which has no cards at all. What do you want me to say? Terraforming Mars is 80% cards. I love the game. I just played it on my iPad a couple days ago. But
yes, but Ares Expedition sounds better than Terraforming Mars 100% cards. Come on, it's a terrible title.
Yeah, no, it's fine. This has obviously groomed a lot of excitement, and I'm sure it will do extremely well. The thing that I thought was interesting was the design team is not just Jacob Frixelius, but he adds in Nick Little, who you might know from Eon's End, and Sydney Engelstein, who you might know from designing with her brother and father, and now she's kicked them to the curb and moved up in the world.
And she is the director of game development at Stronghold Games.
She's currently doing Mr. Bonacor's job, from what I understand, in half the time.
Yes, she is much better than I ever was. You're exactly right. But anyway, this has been in the works, obviously, for a long time. In fact, I can even say this. It was, when we used to talk about it like in public, it was Project Meatball. Don't even know why that got selected as the name, but so we could, talk about the thing, and that was the internal name. And it's been going on for a while, well over a year and a half at this point. So glad to see it coming, and it is a very interesting take on the game.
In February, that means we're not going to see it probably till 22, I would imagine, or late 21.
No. It'll be done. It'll be out this year. Absolutely, 100%. It'll be a fourth
still
quarter.
Haven't got the big box yet, man. Where's my big box?
Big box is coming out. March was the projection. I think it's going to hit March, April. Well, again, I don't speak for them, but I believe that is still on target. Don't come to me for these issues. I still get people coming to me saying, "Do you have any influence?" I'm like, "Really? Come on, guys."
Well, that's what happens when you tie yourself to a company so much that you become kind of like the face of the brand.
I'm okay
you
with
can never retire. We're going to be talking about you and Stronghold in the same sentence until I'm standing over your cold. You know what? This is going too far.
Yeah, it's going pretty.
Let's move on.
It's getting a little dark.
All right. Renegade Games is releasing a new game in Q4, so this is a long ways away, called My Father's Work. This is a 2 to 4 player, 2-hour game from TC Petty, who doesn't normally make big games. He normally makes smaller style games. They basically just released a bunch of flavor text about experimenting, going for generations. I have to say, I don't care about the game. I really like that piece of art.
Beautiful piece of art. I can't tell anything about the game. I mean, it doesn't even say it doesn't say anything about it.
Eating mad scientists making experiments, but I don't know what that means. That's just the theme. What's the mechanisms? We'll find out, I guess.
Right.
I mean, but it's gorgeous. Yeah. Interesting.
Obviously, we're getting a Frankenstein vibe here with the mansion and the lightning striking the lightning rods, but there's no title. I mean, there's no writing at all on what I assume is the cover. This is one way to do it, an announcement, and it's effective. It's intriguing.
Teaser.
I also was just a little bit captivated by what all this is hiding. You know what I mean? So
sure.
I'm curious to hear more.
All right, then we got a kids game that's coming up soon called Pebble Rock Delivery Service. This is from Skybound Games. Skybound is a weird company to me in the sense that they don't seem to have any kind of identity. You know, they publish just everything. They have a party game. They have they just did the really big giant. What's that game called? The one with the.
I don't know. The one with the guys doing the tournament.
Yes. Tidal Blades. Yes. Thank you. Disembodied voice. So Tidal Blades, and they have all these different games, and that's cool. It's just a little all over the place. But I've seen a copy of this, and it's really well put together. There's one thing they do is they do good quality production for sure.
Yeah, looks nice.
Alrighty. Tiny Acrobats, another expansion for Meeple Circus, a game that many of you may have forgotten existed just because games kind of go out of, Meeple Circus is a game about stacky meeples while circus music plays, and this adds more stuff, including...
Is this an expansion or a standalone? Is it a standalone? It says here a sequel of sorts. Okay.
Is that a spiritual successor?
Sure.
Oh, hang on. You're right. This is a different game. Huh.
This is actually a roll and write in which you roll some dice, you draw the meeple, then you fold the paper, and then you stack them up, the little cubes of paper.
I gotta say, reading the description here, it sounds almost like the exact same game.
That I just said, because I made it up.
No, everything you said is a complete falsehood.
Tomfoolery, you might even say.
It is not correct. All right. Today is a day of good covers because the next game is another great cover, and that's Umbra Via. This is from Pandasaurus coming out, so I'm assuming we will see this game quite soon. And you are trying to guide missing pieces of your soul out of the shadows. It's a weird sounding theme, but that cover is amazing, I think.
You think? It's nice. I wouldn't. Yeah, it looks kind of morbid on some level.
I think it's meant to be a little bit. Yeah, I think it's.
Are you buried there?
No, it's spooky. Not spooky, but sort of somber.
Somber.
I like the board. The cover, I agree with Steven. I think the cover's a nice idea, well executed. It doesn't grab me, I like the way the board looks. It reminds me a little bit of a game I like called Nagaraja, with this sort of, grid of tiles that then become paths. There's a lot of games that do that, but it reminds me of that. It looks really abstract, but it looks captivating. I like the way it looks. And I'm not sure what those little baggies are behind the screens. Are they plushies from Catan? I can't tell.
No, I don't know. I think it looks cool. The whole thing I'm excited about.
It looks cool. It looks cool.
All right, a new game coming out from Portal. This is Vienna Connection. This is inspired by Portal's Detective, a modern crime board game. I believe it's very similar to Detective. This just adds Cold War stuff in it. You're now CIA agents going in. I like that theme a lot. So there's 4 missions together. Again, it sounds very similar to Detective, just with like a spin-off, sort of.
Yeah, I know a lot about this because we talk about this obviously on my podcast with Knizia, and yes, it's going to use mostly the same mechanics of Detective, which is I'm honestly saying it is brilliant. And then being a spy now and doing your deduction and coding and things like that, this is even more interesting to me. I can't wait to see this and play this.
Yeah, I'm interested because, I've really cooled, I'll be honest, on Detective. But this is both a fresh start for this kind of game from Knizia, and it's going to bring a lot of experience, having gone already through several different products and different sort of development, of these different games. So I'm interested to see a clean start, bringing experience into it. We'll see. And I like this theme. I do. Mm-hmm. It's a little more specific.
Yep.
Alrighty. Well, it's time to talk about conventions. So, Origins Game Fair has been pushed back to fall. The Origins normally runs in June each year, so they pushed it back. They already put their trade show online, and then they pushed this back to September 30th to October 3rd. I am a little concerned that the second half of the year is going to be top heavy with conventions. Everyone's pushing them back. But at the same time, monetarily concerns for all these big conventions, it's going to be, I know how much money we lose on the small conventions being forced to reschedule. I can't imagine like Gen Con and stuff. That's the big one still, to see what will happen.
Yeah. I've been optimistic all along. None of that's paid off. But I think that this will run. I think Gen Con will run. I think basically, essentially, third quarter on, we're going to see conventions. I was excited to see that they moved it versus just canceling it because I love Origins. I'm dying to go as a participant, a regular gamer, and see everybody, see friends, and see gamers. So this is very good news to me. I certainly hope it all does end up coming to fruition.
Yeah, I agree. I'm optimistic and hoping. It's a tough call to make because, again, if you move the date, you run into a couple problems. One, you've never run your con at that date before.
Sure.
So things are just different. You know, the Origins, there's always the parade that, there's just different things that you deal with, and weather and things change. And secondly, you might accidentally go up against other conventions. That's going to likely happen. So we'll see how that works.
I'm excited. I'm going to be there. If this runs, I'm going to be there. It's going to obviously be smaller because that many less people are going to go because they haven't gotten a vaccine yet, though probably by then they should have if they're going to get one. They're going to be doing different things to keep people apart. So maybe they're even going to limit attendance. We don't know that. So I am
Some
excited.
cons have been canceled. Toy Fair, New York has been canceled. Now, originally, Toy Fair would be running right now practically. But they had already pushed it back to May, I think, and now they just basically said it will happen next year, but they will have Toy Fair Dallas in October. And we don't have a slide up for it, but just yesterday, Board Game Geek Spring also announced that they're not happening this year.
Right.
That would have happened in a few months. I think April is when that one would have happened.
Right. And to put this in perspective for people who might not know New York Toy Fair, it's literally industry only. Retailers show up, and 95%, actually more than that, has nothing to do with hobby gaming. It's mostly toys and very mass market things and plushies and things like that. There's 2 aisles of the 200 aisles of the Jacob Javits Center that is hobby gaming stuff, which is always, it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger over the years, but not even close to being huge for hobby gaming. Sad to see it's being canceled, but understandable.
Alrighty, well, last we have a con that is happening. PortalCon. PortalCon 13, this is online. This is a single day, January 23rd, and me and Steve and Z will be doing a live stream reaction to his announcements, where Steven will say, I already knew about that.
He asked me if I would do it, and I said, of course. I'm like, sure. I actually did not know that we were going to do it together, which is awesome. He has promised.
We're not doing it together, Steven. You're doing one. We're doing one.
Oh, we're
not.
not.
Same time, and we will crush your stream.
Well, of course you're going to get more viewers than me because I'm just doing me. Oh, I thought we were. Okay, the way you said that.
I'm kidding. I have no idea. Are we doing it together?
No, we are
Tom?
doing it together.
Yeah,
Stop
we're doing
it.
it together, of course. We love you, okay? I hate because I love.
Although you're going to have to get on Ignacio's case about this. It is 9 a.m. on a Saturday morning. I don't want to hear nothing about this. This is on him, not me.
This early, man.
No, I don't mind. He did promise one earth-shattering announcement, and I don't know what it is. Because obviously, well, that would.
He's going to say he knew what it is, though. He'll be like, oh yeah, I knew about that.
No, I literally have no. I'm not going to say that because we have to do a reactions thing. Oh yeah, I knew that.
Your reaction to this be like, knew about it.
No, I definitely did not know about anything he's going to say. We don't talk about his internal stuff. unless I ask him something, but no, don't know. But I am excited about this because he always, every time I've looked at any of his stuff that he does for Portal Cons and he had a whole thing during Essen that I really like. So smart guy. He just knows how to like engage people. Him and his people know how to engage people. So this should be very interesting.
He's got a lot of stuff a lot of games in his stable currently that I am a big fan of. So there could easily be an earth-shattering announcement for me personally. So I'm excited.
Well, to Robinson Crusoe, I don't know. Who knows? Alrighty. That's all the news we got, folks. We'll be back in a bit for a showdown.
Hey there, Dice Tower fans. My name is Dave from GameVine, and I hope your breakfast is going fantastic. And today, we're going to be expanding a game that I love very much called Boomtown. But ever since Machikoro came in and knocked this guy out of the spotlight, Boomtown doesn't really have a fighting chance in coming to my table, at least lately. My partner always wants to play Machikoro. So in order to give this a fighting chance, let's pretty it up some. Let's try it out. Let's go. What are you thinking, BT, going to the ring with this kind of equipment? You can't stand to win with that kind of junk. Koro's gonna eat ya. He's gonna beat ya. He's gonna make you the next discounted game. Unless we get some better components in this. So let me help you out and get pretty. So that's all I'm doing is just replacing the currency here, and these gold nuggets are just these silver ones painted. So that's basically easy to keep track of and makes the game look much prettier. You let me know if it beats Machikoro now. But thank you so much for joining me in this segment. If you want to join me in my channel right here, you can. But I should just suggest you watch more Breakfast and more Dice Tower. And until next time that I see you, have a great rest of your day. My name is Dave, and I'm out. Bye.
Hey, I'm Grant with Grant's Game Rex, and today I want to recommend one of the best new party games, Hues and Cues. Most party games are really big, you know, they're loud, they're full of yelling, full of laughing. I like Hues and Cues because it's a quieter, more thoughtful party game, and I think it fills a niche where not a lot of other games exist. In Hues and Cues, you have this giant board of various colors. One player will be giving clues trying to get you to a specific square. Like for that one, I might say Clementine. And then one person's going to put their cone right there. And then another person's going to put their cone right there. And you get points based on how close you are. I'm terrible at this game, and I still like it. That's how you know my recommendation is genuine. I know all the major colors, orange, green, purple. But I don't know anything about those weirder secondary colors. Chartreuse? I've never heard of it. Seafoam? Is that a color or a part of the ocean? My sister said sage as her clue, and then I put my cone down in the light purple area, feeling pretty confident. And then everybody else put their cones down in the light green area, and I was like, I don't think I know what sage is. I am not exaggerating here. I played this game with my family over the holidays, and I lost to my aunt, who is blind. I lost a color game to a blind lady. Yeah, my aunt was more accurate at describing the type of colors that she wanted her cone placed in than I was at actually looking at the colors. And yet I still like this game. I also recommend it because it works surprisingly well for someone who became visually impaired later in life.
All right, it's time for another 10 for 10. We're going to do our race to 15 points game. Guys, last week, Tom, you weren't here for this. We had on the illustrious Mike DeLisio, and I I asked Mike, because he was the champ, Mike, what should my topic be for next week? And Mike is nothing if not predictable, so he said Reiner Knizia games. It's a very boring answer, very old school answer, but that's Delicio for you. This is all a lie, but Reiner Knizia part is true. That's what you're doing. So these are the top ranked Reiner Knizia games on Board Game Geek. Now, do you both know who Reiner Knizia is?
He's
The most
a brewer.
gentleman,
right?
flashy, confident, prolific designer in existence.
Okay,
Those
that's
are
a
all nice
bonus.
words.
That's a bonus point for Tom. Right off.
I don't want the point. I'm okay not getting the point, see?
I'm kidding. You're both
Don't
starting
give it
at
to him.
zero.
I want to be handicapped here.
No, baby. No. All right, guys. Here we go. So, again, we are using this app I've got here. Oh, Tom, you weren't here for this? You haven't seen the app yet, or you did?
I don't know what we're talking about.
Wait till you see this.
Okay, so I have an app now with the entries listed. And I'm going to, the app allows me to list all 20 entries or so, and then set up unique mode, which means I will not be randomly given the same one again. It eliminates it from the list. And it's just easier on me than having to pull out a little piece of paper. All right?
And there's no chance that we'll ever have a tech glitch here where the entire game gets screwed up. No chance of that at all.
Not any more chance than having the whole stream go down. So,
Give or
you know
take.
what I mean? Yeah, it's about the same odds, really.
Give or take, that's a 1% chance any given day.
Exactly. So, guys, here we go. You're going to be answering yes or no. Yes means you think it is in the top 10 ranked. No means you don't think it's in there. You'll get a point for being correct. And then if it is in the top 10, well, you'll figure out if you want to keep it or give it away. And the loser, whoever's trailing, is the one that gets to make that call. So here we go with the first random pick. It is Ingenious. Ingenious. Fellas, what are we?
How many did you
thinking?
put in? How many did you actually put in to this?
There's always 10 that are the actual top 10,
Of course.
and 10 that are just outside of that scope.
20 total games.
There are 20.
Then they're out.
yeah.
And they're not in the top 20. They're just outside the scope. Okay.
Yeah. They could be like number 47 out of all his ranked games. Yeah.
Right. I'm ready.
Tom.
Got it. I'm ready.
Okay, let's see it, fellas. Ooh, look at that polite note. Well, fellas, you are both incorrect.
Oh, I so wanted to say yes. I thought it was really. Oh my God.
Here's the thing. Since you are both, somebody has to make a call on this, and you are indeed tied because no one scored any points yet. I tried to give Tom a point, but he was like, nah, I'm too cool for that. All right, bro.
Roll.
I didn't want
We're
the
gonna-
point. They didn't want to give it to Bonacor.
We're going to flip for it. Tom, I have here a haunted coin that I dug up when I was in Istanbul. It says yes on one side.
You dug it up.
It says no on the other. We're going to flip
Got it.
this. Tom, do you want to win? Yes or no?
Yes.
Indeed, yes.
All right. So it means he picks or he doesn't pick.
That means he picks, right?
All right. Pick.
So what's the rating we're going by here? The actual rating or the number of people?
No, top.
The rank. Why
highest
are you
rank.
Googling this? What's wrong with you? Don't Google
No.
this. It's the rank,
not-
the number.
I haven't closed comments. I'm going to
Okay,
give it to
so
Bonacor.
here's how this works, okay? I'll remind you again of the scoring. The number 1 entry is worth 6 points, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then the last 5 of the top 10 are just worth a single point apiece, okay?
Right.
I will say also from this point on, if there's ever a tie, whoever has the worst of the top 10 is that tiebreaker for being in the last place, meaning they get to make the choice. You're giving it to Bonacor. Are you certain of that?
Yes, I am.
Is this one right here, okay? That is the number 10 entry,
So close.
the absolute last one in the top
So
10.
meaning I always break the tie. Ta-da.
You will. If there's ever a tie, it's yours, Steven.
That was
Number 10.
strategically a bad idea to give it to me, I think.
Very good.
Well, I didn't know it was 10,
Didn't
but I
know
guess
it
that
was-
I guess that makes sense. You know, I should have guessed it was possibly 10.
I'm giving it to you. This is going to be your power right here. And Steven, you have 1 point. And this is what this looks like, by the way, guys. On my phone here, you'll see the entry. It lets me know what place it is and how many points I should assign to it. And now once I hit that at the bottom again, that one goes away and never comes back up.
This was a pretty good app you found.
It's nice. It really works out well for me. So here we go. Next one. Stevenson's Rocket. Not Steven's Rocket. Stevenson's Rocket. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Let's see it. That is correct, fellas. That is 1 point for each of you.
Would you like some trivia? Stevenson's Rocket was nominated for the Origins Best Sci-Fi Game way back when.
Get out of here. Are you serious?
Yeah. I am. This was at the lowest point of the Origins Awards. It's a game about trains in the 19th century.
And it really was a Stevenson's Rocket is a historical train from England, I think.
Sure, but that's when you only go by the name.
That is amazing. That is the lowest point of the Origins Awards, and there's been some low points.
Wow. All right. Well, that's number 27, by the way, in the ranking. Here we go. Through the desert. Through the desert. Why does it sound like somebody's typing? What's up?
I'm ready.
No,
Ready?
I'm crinkling a paper. Sorry.
Ready.
Go ahead. Come on. Show me.
Yes.
You're both saying yes. Fellas, you're both incorrect.
Whoa. Very surprised on that
Number
one.
12. 12.
It's close.
Almost in
By the
there,
way, I'd like
okay?
to say that Through the Desert is an amazing game. It's better than Ingenious.
Better than Go.
I think
Better than Go.
I think they're both great games. I love Ingenious and I love Through the
No,
Desert.
I like Ingenious, but Through the Desert is so deep and such a great, and it's so simple.
Through the Desert is very, very good, yes.
I
I will
like-
mention, by the way, now before we keep going, and before maybe it comes up, maybe it doesn't, the only modification I made to this list is that I'm not going to talk about it.
Yeah, you're about to give something away.
Yeah, maybe. All right, here we go. Boop. Winner's Circle. Winner's Circle.
This is the toughest list you've done so far.
This is a tough list.
Well, you guys got to get good, as the kids say.
All right, I'm ready.
List. Oh man.
It's again, if you want to blame anybody, Delisio is right there.
All right.
Blame Mike Delisio.
I'm
Let's
ready.
see it, guys.
Ooh.
You are both correct, guys. Winner's Circle would be 19 on the list. So 1 point for Tom puts you at 2. Steven, you're at 3
What about
points.
Royal Turf?
We can't say anything about it.
It's the same game. I'm just being a dork.
Oh. I recently pulled that one Winner's Circle off my shelf to potentially play it at during the Kentucky Derby when that ran, but I did not play it. I played Turf Master instead.
Yeah, Winner's
Oh,
Circle is good. It holds
Turf
up.
Master-
Winner's Circle is a neat design.
And Turf
like it.
Master is a phenomenal design, especially with the great production on that game. If you remember how it is, the metal horses.
Yeah, but Winner's Circle
cool.
is a really good one for like a welcoming game. That's Z's new term, and I'm using it.
Welcoming.
All right. I like it, man. I'm happy to start trends. Here we go. The Quest for El Dorado. The Quest.
Oh man, this is such a hard. Oh my word.
I'm ready.
All right.
All right, let's see it.
Ooh.
All right, so Steven's saying no. Tom is saying yup. Tom is correct.
Oh.
There we go.
It's a newer game, so that's why I thought maybe it might be ranked higher.
Here's the thing, a situation we've never had before. Tom has 3 points. Steven has 3 points. The tiebreaker is whoever has the lowest scored top 10 entry. And Steven has 10. However, some people may posit that no entry in the top 10 is technically lower than the 10. What do you guys think?
You know,
You don't score for, what do you mean?
he's saying that since I have nothing, that's actually lower than having
Oh,
10.
you're out of your mind. I'm coming down there right now. I will take you out.
Will you hold on, Mr. Bonacore? I'm going to go by the letter of the law, Z, and I'll say that the 10 beats a nothing.
I agree with that. All right, so Mr.
You know, we should
Bonacore.
not fight before we were on your side there, Dorcas.
Yellow card for you, sir.
Just
Yellow
crazy.
card.
Yellow card.
All right, so again, it is one of the entries in the top 10, like I said, and it falls to you, Mr. Bonacore, to decide whether you want to keep this or give it to Tom.
Give it a Tom.
Giving it to Tom.
I'm going to say it's 8.
You think it's number 8? The number on the back of this is the entry, okay? Meaning like where it ranks, not how many points it is. What do you think it is, Steven? Tom thinks it might be 8.
9.
9.
Oh my word! Really?
Wow.
This is the number 2 entry. There's only one game currently ranked higher than the Quest for El Dorado from Knizia. Meaning this is worth 5 points as the second entry. 5 points, bringing Tom's total up to 8.
You're welcome, Tom. You're welcome.
Thanks, but I would have given it to you, so, you know.
All right, guys.
Shouldn't have argued so hard there. If you'd argued it was me, then I would have given it to you. So you've no one to blame but yourself.
I'm such
All right, here we go. Next entry is Battle Line. Battle Line.
I'm ready.
Actually, I have Battle Line 2 sitting here. I need to get played.
Ready?
Yeah. Okay, let's see it. Okay, guys, you are both correct. 1 point for Tom brings you to 9. Steven, you are now at 4. The thing I was going to say earlier is that the only change I made to this list is that both Battle Line and Shot and Totten are ranked. I took only the higher of the two. The other one is not listed at all. Okay, that makes sense?
Okay.
All right, so this is yours, Steven. Would you like to keep this or give it away?
Mine, baby, mine.
All right, it is the number 6 on the list, which is a point. That's where we go from 2 points to 1.
Yeah, but when you're behind, Mr. Bonacore, you might as well take them all.
You might as well take them, you know, because right now you're at 5, Tom's at 9. So the race to 15 is on. Here we go. Ra is our next entry here. Ra.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Let's see it. Absolutely. You're both correct.
And I'm
1
taking
point
it.
for Tom, 1 point for Steven.
Not because Tom is telling me to, because it's in the top 5. But
what do you think?
Say it's actually, I'm gonna say it's either 5 or 7, because it can't be 6. I don't think it's as high as you think, Mr. Bonacore.
I think it's 5.
You think it's 5? It's actually right after El Dorado. This is now the third one, which is 4 points. Again, 6, 5, 4 points, tying you guys up at 10 points apiece.
It's a nail biter.
It is a nail biter. Right now you have the number 2 entry, Tom. It's the only one you've got. And Steven, you have the number 3 that you just got, the number 6, and the number 10 entry. Here we go. Blue Moon City. Blue Moon City.
All right. Ready.
Let's see it.
Ooh.
Interesting. Number 17.
Oh.
Blue Moon City.
I love Blue Moon City, but I didn't think the reprint came and went with a whimper.
It sure did. It sure did. It was not a great looking reprint, unfortunately. But that's
Good
a point for Tom, putting you at 11. Steven, you are holding at 10. Here we go.
Good game.
Tigris and Euphrates. Tigris and Euphrates.
Ready?
Ready?
Don't look so shocked.
Okay, let's see it.
Of course. 100%. Thank you. I'll take it.
No, wait. Hang on. It could be number 9. Is that what you want?
Yes. Yes, I want it. I want number 9. But I want number 1 even more. And guess what?
Yeah,
Show
if this is
me.
not number one, then my worldview is shattered here.
Show me number one, Z.
You think this is the number one entry?
I am
okay, well,
100%.
right now,
100%.
Tom has 12 points. You're
Lock
at
in my
11.
final answer.
If this is the number one, that's 6 points. That jumps you up to 17. Game's over, and you win. And
Thank
you
you.
now
I'd like to
own
thank-
Tom's hats.
I'd like to thank my mother.
Posterity.
I'd like to thank my good friends. I'd like to thank Z for cheating for me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, fans out there in the audience. Go ahead. Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah,
You,
that
my
was-
friend, are at 17.
That was
and
a
you
great.
have destroyed Tom.
Yeah.
Like I said, last week we had a nail biter, but there's a clear winner here today, and I hate to say it, but it's Stephen Bonacore.
Oh, I hate to say, but
Yeah,
that actually is a
right.
really interesting
No
list
favorites at all.
because the reactions there from both Tom and I were like, really? What? I mean, like,
All right, so what was? Let's try to guess number 4 then. You didn't say number 4, right?
Yeah, sure. Let me see. Let me see if
Let
I
me
can just
think
get
here.
in this app.
we haven't
get
seen
to
4 or
get to
5.
the list.
So if you ask me, is most is 4? Maybe it's Samurai.
So here we go. All right, so number 1, we got Tigris and Euphrates. Number 2, The Quest for El Dorado. Number 3, Raw. Number 4,
So Samurai is
Samurai.
definitely going to be up there.
Samurai is number 4. You guys
There
are
you go.
correct. We had number 6 at Battle Line. So what's number 5?
Oh, Lost Cities.
Lost
It's
Cities.
not.
But Lost Cities is
Modern art.
definitely top 10 modern art.
Oh, Modern Art.
First-
Modern
Yeah,
Art. Yeah,
yep.
Yes, it's
I-
Modern Art, Battle Line, and actually, from the time I made this list to the time I revised it last night, Modern Art and Battle Line switched spaces.
Funny.
Really?
They're one away from
Yeah, but
each
they're-
other.
Yeah.
It's like 221 and 222 or something.
Huh.
So I had to switch them. It was Battle Line, then Modern Art. It's now Modern Art, then Battle Line.
They're probably the
Then
same.
after that, Lost Cities, like you said. You have Ingenious at 10, so you're missing 8 and 9, and it is The Lord of the Rings, The Confrontation at 8, and Amun-Re at 9.
Oh,
Amun-Re.
right.
Amun-Re, one of my absolute favorite games of all time. One of the best 5-player games in the world.
That's true. That's
5-player game. You want to play 5. It's brilliant. That is my favorite game of Reiner, and I just love that game.
Amun-Re? Wow.
Yeah, I would play that
Alright.
game anytime people want to bring it out. It's one of those genius games to me.
All righty, folks. Well, we got a couple more contributors or one more or something left. Let's jump into it.
Hello, everybody. It's me, Clara, and I'm back. I hope you had a nice holiday period, and I wish you all fantastic 2021. So I had a few weeks off because I was running a conference last week, and so that got me thinking about a particular game that I haven't played, but I'd really like to try, which is called AssassinCon. Now, I saw Tom talk about this board game back in 2016, and I wish I'd picked it up, but because it's a party game, and to be honest, I don't tend to have the sort of group where I play party games, if I'm perfectly honest. But this one I think could... I'm not a fan of party games. Like, there's some and they're great and stuff, but they're not ones that I go hunting down or buy or anything like that. But there's something just fun about it. In this game, you're all playing assassins at a conference. Admittedly, my conference last week was not for assassins. I just want to make that clear. It was for it was a science conference, just so we know. But yeah, in this game, you're all playing assassins and you're trying to assassinate your target. And each round, you have a different target. It's a really simple game. It's a little party game, and it's for 4 to 6 players. I think that it could really I feel like if it was up to sort of 8 or 10 or something, then it could really be a game that I use for my youth groups. Now, I should point out that I, preach to my youth groups that we should not be doing violence and that, violence is bad and all that lot, but it's so cartoony and tongue-in-cheek that I don't think that there's any misinterpretation. And admittedly, their favourite game seems to be Deception Murder in Hong Kong. So, they already have the murder thing going on. But yeah, I think it'd be really good fun. And so I don't know how easy it is to get, but why don't you chase it down? And at some point, I'd love to give it a whirl. Alrighty, until next time, bye!
Hi everybody, I'm Doug Jr., and here we are, our first episode of a Fellowship of Meeples for 2021. So here we are in a brand new year, and even though gaming groups are still on hold for the most part, I thought over the next few weeks I would talk to you about some games that are brand new, at least to me. I've been playing games for a while, but there are several that I have not played until recently, starting with this one, The Castles of Burgundy. In this game by Stefan Feld, you're going to be rolling dice and choosing hexagonal tiles based on those numbers. Now, each of these tiles will cause something to happen. For example, maybe you'll buy one of these buildings and place it on your board. This will allow you to perhaps purchase another building for free. Maybe you'll buy some farm animals, which will give you instant victory points. Or maybe you'll sell some goods to the market, which will get you victory points, as well as a silverling, which may let you buy another hexagonal tile. This game gives you lots and lots of choices to make, and they're good choices, and they always result in something good for you. So it's very satisfying to play, and it's very satisfying to fill in your kingdom with these different tiles. At the end of the game, you'll total up all your victory points, including perhaps some end-of-game bonuses, and the player with the most points wins. Castles of Burgundy is a game designed by Stefan Feld and was published in 2011, so it's been around for a while, but this is the first time I've played it, and I really, really recommend it. So I just want to say good job, Stefan Feld, on designing Castles of Burgundy. You keep up the good work, and who knows, someday you might even make a name for yourself in the industry. Well, thanks for joining me on a Fellowship of Meeples. We'll see you next time. Have a great breakfast.
Hey there everyone, it's Jen, the board game librarian, flipping some pages and pushing some cubes with my segment From the Page to the Table, where I pair a book and a board game together and they share a common theme. And I also wear the same sweater 4 weeks in a row. This week we are taking a look at Figures in Silk by Venora Bennett. So this is a historical fiction book that came out, oh goodness, maybe 15 years ago at this point. And we are taking a look at two sisters during the War of the Roses. So this is England in the 1400s. Not a great time in English history. Really gross and uncertain. I mean, just a lot of things going on. Warring families, and eventually the Tudors rise to the top, right? We all know that part. But when I was playing Chronicles of Crime 1400, I really thought of this book because medieval tales that are told, and I can't say a super lot about this game because you are learning as you're going, but it does still have a lot of the same qualities and mechanics that the original Chronicles of Crime has. I think if you're into the time period, you will really like this game. We played one scenario and we had a lot of fun, and the game teaches you how to play as you're going on the app, which is outstanding. It says in the back, no need to read the rules, just dive into the story. And that's what happened. Of course, when I'm playing a story-driven cooperative game, I want to do all the things and ask all the people and ask them questions, and you can't in a game like Chronicles of Crime because it's timed, and the more time you dawdle doing all the things, the worse you do. I'll talk to you next time.
All right, folks. Well, that's it. I am still getting over my drubbing here. But don't forget, if you're just tuning in now, to go back to the beginning of the episode where we have a contest to win a game of dinner in Paris. And don't forget, if you like our show and you want to sponsor what we do, check out our Kickstarter at dicetowerkickstarter.com. We'll be back at noon, 2 hours from now, to play some games live. What are those games? Show up and find out, because we're going to show up and find out, sort of. Yes, thank you. I don't know what that means. Stop. Don't put paper in your mouth.
Yes, I beat you. Handily.
Got it.
That's what it means.
The gloating.
Right. Well, until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Thanks, everybody.
I'm Stephen Bonagor. Hey.
Have fun playing Knizia games.